And I am the president that's been appointed through August 31st, 2027, and appreciate the opportunity to serve in this role. This is my first meeting in this particular position. I've asked Scott Pasternak to serve as the vice president, and he has accepted, and appreciate his willingness to serve in that role. Also wanted to congratulate our reappointed members, Scott Trebus, Risa Weinberger, and Richard Abramowitz, and welcome new members, Ken May, Thomas Parker, and Seth Cunningham to the council. For those that are new to this council, we, in the beginning, take the opportunity to go around the room and introduce yourself and the organization that you're with and what category you represent. So I'll start and then we'll go to Chuck. So Jeff Mayfield, North Texas Municipal Water District, and I represent public solid waste districts or authorities. Chuck?
Good morning. I'm Chuck Rubett. I work for Waste Management of Texas. I represent a solid waste professional with experience managing or operating a commercial solid waste landfill.
Hi, good morning. Scott Pasternak with Burns & McDonnell, representing the general public.
Robin Alanis, with City of Goliad, I represent cities under 20,000.
I'm Frank Pugsley with Park Hill, and I represent a professional engineer in private practice with experience in design and operation of solid waste facilities.
Judge David Dillard, representing counties underneath 100,000 in population.
Tom Parker, I have a tire recycling company in Dallas, Fort Worth, and we're representing the tire processors.
Great.
Megan Henson, I'm the section manager for MSW permits.
Charlie Fritz, Deputy Director of the Waste Permits Division.
Anna, do you want to catch who's online, or do you want to continue in the room, or I'll let you take it over from there?
We will catch who's online.
Okay.
I'll call out the names. Richard Abramowitz.
Richard Abramowitz, and I represent the general public.
Seth Cunningham.
Hey, good morning. Seth Cunningham with New Gen Strategies and Solutions, and representing the financial community.
Brock Lively.
I'm Brock Lively with the City of Plainview, and I represent a municipality or a county solid waste agency.
And May.
Brock Lively.
Sorry, did I hear Ken May? No.
Sorry, yes, Ken May with the Capital Area Council of Governments, representing regional planning commissions.
Steve Shannon. Oh, is he on mute? He's on. Okay, I see you. You're on mute. Steve, you're on mute. Okay, we'll come back. Scott Trebus.
Good morning, everyone. Scott Trebus with Republic Services. I represent a solid waste management organization comprised of primarily commercial operators.
And Risa Weinberger. Steve?
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Greetings from Washington State, where the salmon fishing is fantastic. Good morning.
Everybody? Okay. Great. All right. So then I guess our first order is to turn it over to Charlie Fritz for Waste Permits Division update.
Yes. Good morning. So I don't have a lot of updates. I'll tackle the easy one first, special session legislative updates. Not a lot happened for waste permits on special session, and overall agency, there's nothing going to be impacting waste permits that happened agency-wide for special session. So it was a quicker special session, but no impacts from that one. For general updates, we are working on legislative implementation. We've done the easy ones. We've updated some forms, but the two main ones are going to be HB 3229, which is focused on recycling facilities that handle renewable energy components. So solar panels, battery energy storage system, components from battery storage systems, and then wind farms, wind turbines and generators and all that. So it's the components that go to those recycling facilities. So it doesn't impact all recycling facilities, just the specific ones that handle recycling or the renewable energy components. These recycling facilities will need to report to TCEQ once a year on the amount. All the recycling facilities have to report to TCEQ. They report the amount of unrecycled components they have stored at their facility, and then provide financial assurance for those that amount of unrecycled components. So that's a once a year report. We are working on forms and guidance. The big one's going to be how to obtain FA, how to renew, keep FA going, and make changes to FA. So that will start. We've sent out information, get some information from stakeholders about how to implement the process and the guidance. We are working on forms and guidance right now and a process. We will have the forms ready and hopefully guidance ready by the first reporting cycle in January 15th. So we'll have we hope to publish most things November, December. And then we are working on rulemaking that will come along afterwards. We're tentatively planning for spring, so February, March of 2026 to go to proposal for that rulemaking. Again, that's HB 3229 if you want to go see the language, the statutory language there. That one was implemented and it's a new Texas Health and Safety Code chapter 376. The second one, any questions on that one? Because that's the biggest one we're working on legislative wise. Yes, HB 3229. The other one is HB 4413. This one's a little bit more minor, but it impacts waste permits because it's related to renewable energy. It's more about recycling. It is basically created definitions for renewable chemicals, renewable biomass, and brought them into, we are adding these definitions into Chapter 328. 2 sessions ago or last session, there was the advanced recycling mass balance certification system. We added those definitions into Chapter 328. This one's expanding a couple of those definitions. And so that's what we're doing. It's not a major rulemaking. We're moving pretty quickly on this one. It will, we are proposing it in December, around December this year. But that one, again, that one's HB 4413 if you want to go look at the definitions of renewable biomass, renewable chemical. But those will be added into 328 along with expanding the mass balance certification to include renewable chemical. And then any question on that one? And then just general division updates, not a lot. I think I wanted to let you all know we are planning rulemakings in the short, you will hear more and more about rulemakings from all 3 sections in the next 6 months to a year. We've gone out to stakeholders for scrap tires. We've gone out to stakeholders for industrial and hazardous waste. So we are working on taking those comments and moving forward on making changes. The first one, for scrap tires, you'll start hearing more and more about it in the spring. We'll definitely communicate with the scrap tire work group, or not a work group, our stakeholders, our listserv of letting them know when we're going to be proposing rules. We'll let you all know too, MSRAC know about scrap tire rulemaking. IHW is working on federal implementation along with about 2 to 3 minor state implementation changes. The state changes, we've gotten feedback on from stakeholders on changes. We probably won't really announce it here at MSRAC but we will announce any timing and rulemaking proposals through the IHW listserv. So if you have any questions on signing up for the IHW listserv, let us know and we'll walk you through that process. And then MSW, I think Megan mentioned it last meeting, but we are planning a minor update to subchapter T to add, and then also to, and sorry, subchapter T is construction over closed landfill, and that adding more clarity, bringing updates to that sub program of MSW, and then also, what is it?
330.11.
Yeah, biodigesters. And so that one, again, not moving quickly. It's not going to be in the next 3 months. If we're talking 6 to 9 to 12 months of talking with y'all, MSRAC, and then working through the proposal stage. And that is all the updates I have.
Do you have any just like conceptual ideas on the subchapter T, like what you're looking at modifying?
From a big level, I'll let Megan provide more details. We've pretty much gone rule by rule because we know the applications we're getting have a lot of we are seeing the same deficiencies over and over again. So going rule by rule and where can we provide more clarity? Where can we provide more instruction or better instruction on what exactly we're looking for? That's where we started this project. Megan, you want to provide any more?
Yeah, as we were going through, we decided to go line by line through the entire subchapter because we found that there were things that are in the rule that are unclear. So we just are taking the time to get some consistency. Things like there's work plan is used somewhat randomly that's probably a little too strong, but inconsistently throughout the subchapter, and work plan isn't defined very well. So just getting really the basics defined. And then providing some clarification as our, subchapter T program has been in effect for, 30 years. So there's just also updating some things that match today's standards.
Thanks. Is that it, Charlie?
Yes, that's it, unless you have any questions for me.
Anyone have any questions? Okay, then we'll move on to, let's see. Anna, are you going to do another roll or are you good?
I'm good.
Okay, so then we'll move on to Megan.
Great. All right, I'll get through the routine stuff first. So starting out, we do have one vacancy now. So excited. Last time I felt like I was jinxing us when I said no vacancies, but our work leader who had actually been part of this section, Allison Owen, she has moved on to a team leader position within the agency. So excited. She's still in the Office of Waste, but it is a loss for us. She had a lot of great knowledge and a great trainer for groundwater monitoring reviews. So we're working on filling that work leader position now. And then for major applications, we have 20 permits under review and 6 registrations. Actually, the permits are a little bit low. I think we're hovering around 23 to 26. Luckily, with having only one vacancy, we have adequate staff to handle the workload, and we're also able to take on some of the special projects like rulemaking and being able to dive deep into that. Do want to announce that our 2024 annual report summary is available now. So those that are in person, I believe you have a hard copy. If you are online, then there is an electronic copy available. So if you look at TCQ MSW annual summary, you can pull up the latest report. I want to go over just a few highlights. There's so much great information in this report. So as you have time, I encourage you to flip through. And we had 206 active landfills that reported last year, and over 41 million tons of waste were disposed. And on the upside, over 2 million tons were diverted from those landfills. So we continue to see that number rise. Actually, both numbers continue to rise. The remaining capacity for the statewide is 51 years. This has been about what we've seen for the past 5 years or so, hovering around 50 years. So as landfills close, new landfills open, or existing landfills may expand. So it's good that we have a long-term plan. And then as far as the waste composition, probably not anything too unexpected. 62% of the waste disposed was reported as MSW. Makes sense for MSW landfills. And also there was 23% that was construction and demolition waste. So we've heard that a lot from the regulated community, that as Texas continues to grow, there's a lot of construction and demolition waste. We've seen more type 4 landfills opening, and we've just seen this need grow in the market. So it makes sense that the waste composition aligns with that. And our per capita disposal was 7.24 pounds per person per day. And something that we clarify in the report, and I wanted to take a moment to clarify here, is that number seems high compared to the national average that EPA uses. EPA does not include, I think it only includes MSW, while the Texas definition of municipal solid waste captures things like construction demolition debris. So our number looks higher, but it's actually because we include more types of waste. There's, like I said, a lot of useful information in this report, including the list of facilities by COG region with the maps for each COG. So we have it broken out by landfill and by processing facility in each COG. So you can see a map and you can see a list. We also include instructions on how to look up information from a specific facility for both the landfills and the processors. So I can't remember exactly where it starts, but it says something like facility information. And so you can look it up in our central registry. And we also include trends. So things like statewide capacity, that's an important component of what we look at. Also, things like landfill size, was the average height, acreage, and other trends we cover in there as well. So some come with graphs, so you can just glance at the graph, but some you do have to read a little bit more detail. We were excited to get this out before the MISRAC meeting. Any questions about the report?
Great, congratulations. It's I can remember years and years and years ago, we were waiting at Christmas time for the come around, and you guys have really got it going. If you just take the 62% MSW, that gives us approximately 4.5 pounds per person, which is absolutely right in EPA zone. So, but we do get hammered on that a lot.
Actually, this is.
I concur. I mean, it's a great document. I like receiving it every year and going through it. It's got great information. I thought I only just kind of skimmed through it because it just came out, but I think what I saw was that, because of there is an uptick in the number of facilities that reported, landfills, I should say. And most of it, I think, was due to monofills that are accepting abandoned building debris and such. Maybe there were like 4 or something like that were reported newer permitted. Maybe off on that, but I just thought that was interesting. I didn't realize that there were that many in general that were just doing that. And then just a comment, this one is also out in Spanish, is that right?
We are working on getting it translated.
Okay.
So it should be out January at the latest.
Okay. Yeah. Great. Yeah, job well done.
Thanks. Yeah, it's definitely a team effort. We have multiple people in municipal solid waste permits that work on it. Of course, the facilities sending their reports is key. And then also our external relations division who helps with the publishing. So it's great to see the final product.
Yeah. And I understand we have to turn around now, and they're due the annual reports are due in November or something?
November 10th. Yes, that was my next point.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Yeah, 2025 reporting is underway. So we did host a webinar last month that was going through the reporting process, and we had really good attendance. Over 180 people attended, and we are excited to see some people turned around like the next day and submitted their report. So while it was fresh, they went for it. And the due date is November 10th. We've already started sending out emails of like, hey, the report's due. don't wait too long. Of course, once November 10th passes, we will start sending more emails and then phone calls, and we're like debt collectors when it comes to these reports. You can't block us. So yeah, that's next on the horizon.
I have
And
a
I
question.
do have another, this is related to landfills, but just want to make sure everyone's aware that TCQ is in the process of renewing the TIPD's multi-sector general permit. And it expires August 14th, 2026. If you have questions about that, because this may impact the landfills, processing facilities, even the composters, contact the Water Quality Division if you have questions about the renewal process or the new permit.
I have a
And then
question.
last on my agenda is
Megan, Mr. Shannon has a question.
All right, can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
yes.
Okay. Megan, I appreciate that annual report. It just seems like it gets better every year, and I'm glad to see that more people are reporting. But I have a question. The 7.2 pounds was a disposal rate. Do you have any sense of what the recovery rate or landfill diversion rate was? I'm sorry, I haven't been able to read the document for the last 11 weeks. I've been basically in the wilderness out of Wi-Fi service area.
Well, you're making us all jealous of that, but yeah, we reported from the landfills about 2 million tons were diverted from landfills.
From the landfills themselves. So that's diversion. Is there anything in the report about what was recovered at MRFs or composting facilities, C&D recycling facilities?
I thought we do break out by transportation, composter, and landfill.
Okay. Do you have any sense of what that total diversion number was?
I think that is the 2 million. The 2 million is the total from all of those types. I said landfills, but I should
All
have.
of those types. So it's
Yeah.
not really the MRFs. Okay.
The transfer stations actually reported the most diversion. I remember, is that right? I'll have to get back to you, Steve, on
Sure.
the details.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, last up, we have Trade Fair 2026, and that will be in May in San Antonio. And I think I covered this last time. We're soliciting input from Mizrac and other stakeholders on what topics y'all would like to hear about at Trade Fair. We try to cover a variety of topics, sort of around a theme. We don't always have a direct theme, but that's something we're working on. So that way the presentations have that flow to them. And we were discussing groundwater monitoring being one of our topics this year. So let me know if you are interested in that, and if anyone's interested in presenting as well, because we like to get at least one external speaker to get that outside perspective on those topics. So we do finalize topics by December. So if you'll let me know sooner rather than later, if you are interested in speaking or if you have a topic that you would like us to cover.
Megan, if there is somebody, would it be you that they would contact or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
You can contact me directly.
Okay.
That was all I had.
Thank you. I have a follow-up question on the annual report. The scrap tire report, they're on a different cycle, right?
Right.
And then is there a report that's generated for scrap tire also?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And that usually comes out in March.
Yep. March.
June. Sorry. June.
Okay.
Yeah. But it is delayed. So, but yeah, they cover separate information in that scrap tire report.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Real quick, there's a 13% increase of diverted material from 2023.
Steve, not sure if you heard that, but 13% increase in diverted material from 2023. Thank you, Anna.
Okay. So next we have the business and program services section update, and it listed Santos, but we have somebody else instead. Welcome.
Yeah, I'm Melissa, speaking on behalf of Santos. So we have two updates. First, on the council position applications. There are 4 vacant positions now, and the application or the nominations are left open. So we will review an application when we receive it and fill that position as we receive applications. We also have a compost refund program update. We have a meeting scheduled, a virtual meeting for October 28th. At that meeting, we're going to review 3 years of data. That includes Q4 of FY25. We'll review reporting for completeness, and composting plans to confirm that they're still accurate. That's all. Have any questions?
I had just a couple. For the council vacancies, are those are all the elected officials of the various sizes?
Yes, the 4 vacant positions are for elected official positions.
Okay. Because that's one that we always have problems filling. But I think we do allow a proxy, right? So if anybody knows anybody, but they have staff people that would be interested in attending.
Yeah, Jeff, I just wanted to make sure I remembered that that was authorized a couple of years ago, right? That the elected official could have, it's a non-voting representative, but they can have a representative attend.
I don't know about the non-voting
Okay,
part, but I know
I can't remember.
I know we talked about having
okay.
proxies being able to attend.
Yeah.
I think we agreed it was a non-voting, or y'all agreed it was a non-voting member.
Non-voting. Okay, thank you for clarifying that. And then just follow up on the virtual meeting on the compost rebate. So I was trying to take a few notes on it and then comprehend all that. So it'll be a review of the last 3 years. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, 3 years of data.
Okay.
And then also just the reporting for completeness of the reports that we receive.
Okay.
And reviewing the current composting plans, confirming that they're still accurate and not outdated.
Okay. And I seem to recall when Santos presented this, whenever that was, April-ish or so, there were, I'll forget the number, but there were maybe 8 or somewhere less than 10 facilities that are participating in the program. So are those, would it be ideal if they are participating in this virtual, or I'm trying to understand like who all would be stakeholders to partake in this?
Yeah, certainly anyone participating in the composting refund program would be an important stakeholder. But anyone else that is interested in that program or that has information to provide.
Okay. One of the things as I recall that he also asked was if anybody had any data or financial information. Did you receive anything from anybody?
I don't believe so. I don't believe so.
Okay. All right.
The virtual meeting, it's an open meeting.
I'll get back to you to confirm. I believe so. But it's October 28th is the date.
October 28th. And where will we find the link? Somewhere in the.
We'll send it to you. It'll be a link for a Microsoft Teams meeting.
That's
okay.
That'll be very helpful for me. I get lost real quick.
Of course.
On the website.
Okay. Does anybody have any other questions, or anyone online have any questions? Okay. Thanks. Appreciate it. We are blowing through our schedule here. Okay, next is upcoming summits, conferences, etc. So one of the questions that had come up was recently like what kind of conferences, summits, etc. are out there to help inform and educate. And this came from one of the newer members of the council. And so since we have a lot of brain power here, we thought, we'd just put that out there for those that know of what what is a regular conference that either they attend or they have people that they work with that attend, that it would be good to just share those. So like obviously trade fair, that's one. I know of, I'll just start with things that I had thought of. The Compost Summit, which I believe is being held right now. STAR has a conference. Maybe Steve wants to talk about when that next one is occurring. Texwana has one, usually in April or so. SWANA has their national conference this November, and Waste Expo also has theirs. I think it's May, but I may be wrong about that timing. And then I'm sure there are others that probably others are aware of. And so I'd be, be happy to hear what else people think of that they either attend or they know of others that attend that are kind of MSW solid waste related.
There's also NAMA, the Hazardous Materials Management Association. They have an annual conference.
Yeah, this is Scott. Also, Global Waste Symposium is an MSW one.
What's the acronym for that?
For which one?
NAHMA, NAHMMA.
Oh,
I think.
yeah, I think it's North America Hazardous Materials, something, maybe association.
Are these going to be posted like on the website? Is there a place that would list these kind of meetings?
We can include it in the meeting highlights. So
Okay.
we'll send those after
Okay.
the meeting.
All right, thank you.
Frank, is this the one that was just in the Seattle area or Washington recently, or is that a different one?
This one was in Chicago, I think, a week or two ago.
Okay. Or maybe that's one. Somebody from our organization presented at, I think, that one, and I thought it was the Seattle area, but maybe I got the city completely wrong.
Another big northern city.
Okay.
Mr. Trebus, I think, has a comment.
Yeah, Global Waste Symposium is every 2 years, and that's a MSW related one. It's out in California, usually. You guys hear that?
Could you repeat that one? We didn't hear you for which one. We just heard every other year.
I said Global Waste Symposium.
Oh, yeah. Yep. That's a good one.
It's every 2 years, and it's usually out in California.
Mr. Shannon?
Yes, I would just like to, can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I would just like to mention that the STAR has an annual, State of Texas Alliance for Recycling has an annual conference every year. It's very well attended. I think we're in our 36th or 7th year of that. The concurrent this year was a seminar conducted on behalf of STAR, the Texas Economic Development Council, the TARC, Texas Association of Regional Councils, Keep Texas Beautiful, Keep Texas Recycling, and other stakeholders, where we examined the issue of implementing recycling infrastructure into rural and underserved areas in Texas. It was a day-and-a-half brainstorming session. There were several people speaking that are members of this council. We are almost finished with the final report of that, which is a 30-odd page document that will be distributed here within 30 days or so. So there's something locally that happened to try to push more access to recycling infrastructure here in the state of Texas. And it was a very enthusiastic and candid meeting. The type I don't think has ever occurred on that topic yet heretofore in the state of Texas. So we were very excited about it, very well attended, and just a lot of just candid questions and suggestions to move that resource recovery forward here in the state of Texas. So we look forward to being able to distribute that and to the members of the council and the other stakeholders involved. Thank you.
Mr. Murray chatted the Texas Environmental Health Association and the Texas Environmental Law Enforcement Association. Would you like to speak more on those?
No, thank you. It's, they, environmental law enforcement agencies, have those two organizations in Texas. And, they get a lot of good attendance, cover, statute and rule pertaining to, environmental law enforcement. And, we just want to support the troops.
I think Risa would want us to mention the U.S. Compost Council annual compost conference that's not the Texas Compost Summit.
Appreciate that. Okay. Anyone else have any others that they can think of?
I was just going to share one that we found this year. It was, and I don't know the conference name, but it was construction and demolition recycling. And it was in the DFW area. Maybe that sounds right. It was our first time having TCQ staff attend that conference.
This is Richard Bromowitz online. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, there's a e-scrap conference at the end of the month in a Grapevine this year, put on by Resource Recycling Magazine. I know it's like October 27th, 28th, and 29th. And it's all about e-scrap. And they also do a plastics conference and a municipal waste recycling conference that's more for the municipal folks. That'll be in February in San Diego. And that one will be textiles, plastics, and just the municipal solid waste policy.
Okay, thanks.
Another one that happened this week was put on by the Recycling Partnership up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, focused on public education and outreach efforts. So that one is in the past, but that could be something where the Recycling Partnership may continue to have those type of events in the future.
This is Rich. I was there yesterday, Scott.
Okay.
So, yeah, just if I could comment on that. It was a very good conference. The Recycling Partnership is very data-driven. So they have a lot of data. They have a lot of information. They're doing work in McKinney. They've done work in San Marcos. So they've kind of targeted Texas as an opportunity and are looking for projects to do in Texas.
Okay. Anyone else have any others? Go ahead.
I was going to say, and we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about all of the COGS solid waste councils that throughout the state and the work that they do.
Yep. I think Ken put something, but it was very.
Thank you. I was just typing on that. Great minds think alike. Thank you, sir.
Anyone have any other thoughts or suggestions?
I don't know if you wanted me to read what Ken may put, which is the Regional Solid Waste Grants Program funding opportunities.
Thank you. Okay. So, all right, nothing else. So we'll move on to the next one. Next item is approval of the meeting highlights from July, I think, right? Yeah, that's okay. Which we all had we received an email version, and then I think the hard copy is in our folders for those of you that are present. So I don't know if anybody had any comments or suggested changes to the minutes. And if not, we need a motion, right? A motion in a second. Okay. So if anybody does not have any, we'll look for a motion in a second.
Move to approve.
Thank you.
Steve Shannon had his hand up.
Go ahead, Steve.
Oh, you're muted,
Sorry,
Mr. Shannon.
you were, yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Since I missed that meeting, it's the only MISREC meeting I've ever missed, I will have to abstain from approval.
Well, that's interesting you say that because it shows that you were present.
Well,
so if you weren't there, we'll have to modify that.
I don't know that I was.
We'll just.
I'll fix it.
I'll abstain in this case just to play it safe.
Okay. So we'll just confirm whether you were or were not there. The minutes will reflect that accordingly.
All right.
Okay, so we have a motion, but I don't think we have a second. Thank you, Scott. Okay, any further discussion? All right, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Then we have next action items and Q&A. Anna? Do you have any?
Okay, the only action item I have right now is we're going to send a link to the compost meeting to y'all, the Teams meeting, and that's all I have.
Okay.
And updating the highlights.
Yes. If it's to be updated.
If it's to be updated.
Okay. All righty. All right, well, then that brings us to public comments. Does anybody in the audience, either in person or online, have any public comments?
If you are on Teams, please raise your hand.
I just have one announcement. I think that some of the people on the council will want to know if Holly Holder, who served the council for many, many, many years, formally and officially retired as of the end of September. So if you want to text him or call him and wish him well on the golf course, feel free.
Yes.
We don't have any raised hands on Teams. If you are on the phone, you can hit *5 to raise your hand. Doesn't look like anybody's raised their hands.
Okay. And the last item we have is approval of the proposed dates for 2026 meetings. And is that something you handle, or did we just go over, we're all good with it, or how do you want to handle that?
Yes, you all agreed. You let me know if those dates are good, and I will, they're already saved, and the room is already saved for those dates.
Okay.
So let me know if they all work out. If they don't, I can move it.
Okay. Does anybody have any concerns or conflicts with any of those dates that are listed?
Well, speaking of Holly and David Jonke, they were always the keeper of when the public meetings were. And I don't know. So I guess that's just my question. Is there any Texwana meeting or anything that conflicts here?
No, because it should not be, because those are always going to be on a Friday, usually the second Friday.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Scott, were you going to say something, or?
Just really that, but then from a conference perspective, Texwana would be earlier in the week, and I think it's a different week altogether for the conference. So I think that should be fine as well.
Okay, that'd be the April date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's the end of April for the conference.
Probably. That sounds about right. Okay.
Yeah, Texwana starts the 27th of April.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Anybody that's online have any issues with those 4 dates that are listed? January 8, April 9, July 9, October 8. Okay. Sounds like they're locked down.
And,
awesome.
Yeah, and if you could please send out those meeting invitations as whenever you reasonably can, that'd be great.
Yes, sir.
Always good to have those on our calendars.
Yeah, I'll send out the placeholder meetings to y'all tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay. And I think that concludes our very quick agenda. That went fast. So if when Anna sends out the request for any agenda items, if you can think of any, certainly please pass them on so that we can add them in here. We had a couple of them that came through, but you can see here that this one went really, really quickly. So want to make sure everybody gets a chance to be heard. And so if there's something that's important in your wheelhouse and you want to have it discussed, please raise it and we'll see about getting it added to the agenda.
Yeah, Jeff, it's probably better later in the year, but we normally have at least one of the meeting where the COGS give a presentation of the grant program.
Yes.
And I always find that exceptionally interesting. And,
yeah, when since I'm new to this role, I spent probably more time than I normally would in looking at what would be potential discussion items. And so I kind of had a list of, like, I went back over the last couple of years to see historically, well, this meeting, we usually have that particular item and such. And so that's a very good point. Yes.
If you'll allow, this is Ken.
Okay.
I don't want to keep Chuck on the edge of his
Anybody
seat
have
for
any
too
other
long.
comments? All right, then I guess we're done. We're adjourned. Thank you, everybody, and have a great rest of the day and safe travels back.
Thank you.